Yo, how's it going everybody? Got a bit of a different one for you today. So, what we're going to do is, last time we pulled Ragash on the main account. So, I wanted to build him out, get him at level 60, get his masteries, and then give him a bit of a test, see what we can do with him. As you can see here, he's pretty highly rated almost everywhere. And it kind of matches up the same as what's on the HellHades website. They've rated him 4.5 out of 5 stars overall. So he's basically good in all like the main gear dungeons in normal versions and hard mode. So he's good in PvE. He's really good in Doom Tower waves. He's basically, I think, in all of the Doom Tower bosses, he's got a decently good rating for. So let's have a quick look how we've got him set up. So we are going to be testing him out in Arena. So masteries wise, I've got him in a damage dealing sort of build for Arena. Ended up down at Helm Smasher. Got the one where he does more damage for the first hit, and he does more damage to people that are stunned, and then more damage to shields as well. Relic wise, I've got the crit damage one on him, and stats wise, this is what we've gone for. So he's at 100% crit rate, as much crit damage as we could get. Accuracy as well, we wanted to try and get at least a half decent amount of accuracy because he can put decreased defense and stun. But then after that, it's just as much defense as possible, and then, you know, supplement with some HP so he doesn't die. Gear wise, we've got him in 4 sets of lethal, which is 10% crit rate and ignore 25% of defense. Now, we haven't got the greatest lethal gear on this account, so, you know, I've got what I can on him to get the build going. And then a couple of bits of perception so that we can at least try and get some decent accuracy. If your account's more progressed, then obviously you get more accuracy in general, and then you could swap out the accuracy banner for defense basically and just bump that up higher. What's he do? So his passive, at the start of his own turn, he's going to place Perfect Veil on the ally with the highest attack. So if you aren't building him to be your nuker, if you're building him more support, and you don't care about the crit and all that, he can fill that role really well. So then if you have an attack based nuker in your team, he's going to put the Perfect Veil on them, which is going to help protect them, make them take less damage, not be targeted by single target attacks. And then also he inflicts 20% more damage against target whose defense is lower than himself, which is why if you are building him as a nuker, you do want to try and pump up the defense as much as you can. Apart from the fact that it increases the damage he does anyway. So A3 is where I said about he could be a good support. So he's going to do strengthen and increase speed on everybody, and then Perfect Veil on himself. Then is A2, which is the nuke damage. So he attacks everybody, and when it's fully booked, he has a 100% chance of placing decreased defense on everybody before he then attacks. And then he then does the hit, and then he also has the same percentage chance to then stun them after he attacks. So this can be good for if he is your damage and you don't quite kill them, trying to at least control them so then they can't retaliate to you. And then his A1 is just a double hit and places increased defense on himself, which it's alright, but realistically if you set this guy up as a nuker, you would have somebody in the team before he goes that would then place increased defense on him so that, you know, he gets the increased damage and the effect from the passive. So you can see here, obviously I didn't have enough books to fully book this out, but this is kind of the way that these books have fallen is pretty much what you would want anyway. You want the cooldowns here, you want the debuff chance and cooldown there, and this is just supplementary. If you have a spare amount of books to just throw these in just to get the extra damage, it's whatever. Into the Arena. Oh, that's an easy one. Right, this is the team setup that I've kind of gone for with this. So Shuzen lead with the Arena Battle Aura. Then our base is in there. She will be our first to go. She's our fastest. She will use the turn meter boost and increase attack, which that's pointless in this, but it's the turn meter boost that I'm bothered about because she is our fastest champion. Then Shuzen will go next. She'll use her increased speed and turn meter boost on us, and then the decreased speed and turn meter reduction on the enemy. Mithrala will then go next. She will use her A2, which is the AoE Hex, and it then gives us the buffs. and then Ragash will then go, but because of the way I've got this team set up and the order that they're in, so Shuzen's lead, Shuzen's buffs and instant turn will, because she's a leader, it will then go, she will then automatically target whoever's in second place, which will be Ragash. So we have got him set up to, on his own turn, use his buffs, and then when she gives him the instant turn again, he will then go in with his nuke. So that's the way that's set up. So we'll do that. They're probably going to die from Mithral, so I can't show you on that one. But we'll go in with this one, and I'll just put it on auto. I'll slow this down just so we can... Actually, I'll take it off auto. Now we'll go one at a time. So our base goes in, like I say, with turn meter boost and the buffs. And Shuzen goes in with hers. So we've got decreased speed out everywhere, drop their turn meter. We've got increased speed on us and increased turn meter. Mithrala now goes in. This is the main thing, is the increased defense as well, and the hex on the enemy. Push. Gets all that out. So now you can see, obviously, Ragash has got increased defense up, so his damage is going to be higher, and it should activate his passive, so he does 20% more damage. But he'll then go in and use this. Our base comes in again, potentially strips buffs if anybody's got them on. But now Shuzen's here, she's going to increase crit rate and crit damage. If you haven't got her, then, you know, this is completely different. But he'll go in, give Ragash the instant turn, got more crit damage, and then he goes in, swipe. So some decent hits there. Obviously these are all quite a tanky team, so now we go in, get rid of the provoke off him. Can speed this up now. Now I've shown you the setup that happens. Get Death Knight out the way. That is a really tanky Death Knight. Yeah, now we'll just finish this guy off. Oh, this is quite a tanky team. There we go. I mean, the petrification wouldn't have been helping there. Well, let's try and find ourselves another one. We're just going to let this run on full auto here, full speed, and just let it do its thing. There you go, so all three of them got stunned even though they survived. So they could do nothing. Which is why it's pretty good. Like, he's nowhere near as, like, high damage as, say, like if you've got a Baron who will just absolutely mop the floor with people. But if you wanting to build a team that can potentially survive again as well, like if you're not planning on trying to wipe someone out, if you don't have like the high damage and attack nukers type of thing, and you do manage to pull Ragash quite decently early in your account's lifespan, then it's a really good option that you could try. Let's try, I mean that's only 140k, but let's go against this one. The problem you are mainly going to have is, for example, when you come across like magic affinity teams, so Syl and Ninja, he probably won't wipe them out, even though, for example, Ninja is a squishy champion. We'll see what happens here, see if he does take him out. Yeah, so he didn't quite take Ninja out. I think that might have been because of the petrification, so he was taking less damage. Try and lock him out. No, didn't quite. Yeah, this is one of the kind of the weird things though with this setup. That because of the petrification he'll then do less damage. 120k there on that hit, that's decent. Can we try and find ourselves a team that doesn't really have much in terms of magic champions? This will be an interesting one. I have a feeling we probably won't take this down, but let's just give it a go for science. I'm going to slow this down just to see, because Valkyrie could potentially cut in here, yeah, like that. But she got the petrification on from Mithrala, so Yeah, didn't quite take everyone out, but got the 2 stuns there. Be interesting to see. Yep, so you've took down Duchess, which is nice. Now it's basically just sort of cleanup crew because Duchess is gone, so there's no revives. Took down Mountain King, and now it's just finish off Valkyrie. Not too bad. I wasn't actually expecting that to go as well as it did, to be fair. Let's just go for this one, just to see what happens. There we go. That's not too bad. I mean, we are currently trying to climb our way back up on the arena tiers at the minute because I wasn't really playing this account that much while I did the free-to-play account. So I'm really far down from where I used to be, but I don't feel like I may use this team when I do get higher. I don't feel like it'll probably stand up quite as well. Mainly with just the gear that I have on this account. I don't quite think I can keep up with like a lot of the higher level players' setups that they've got. Like realistically, I'm probably going to lose the speed battle on this one, but let's just try and find out. Yeah, so Albert went first. Yeah, so it's kind of knocked off the way that we were going, so give it a go. We'll just see what happens here. He's got decreased defense, so he's probably going to do less damage than he should. Yeah. Can we pull this back somehow? Going with the lockout. And yep, lock out your skill. Can we remove that? Nice. And kill the Aureus to get rid of him. Lock out Arbiter. Yep. Now I'm going to change form here and try and get ourselves some recovery going here. And lock her out again. Now we'll try and just get the rest down a little bit. Really slow, but we'll get there. Don't know if that would have worked on full auto, but it was worth a try. I'll give that last one a go. Nicely done. I want to try a different setup now. I want to see if can we do maybe a different setup here. So maybe we leave Ragash in, but he's going to be as if we're going to pretend that we've built him more support, so he's not the actual damage dealer. So we'll go in with someone like, I don't know, like Baron in. No, I'll have to do that last. So we're going to keep Shuzen as our lead. And I'm going to put in... Who should we put in? Lydia. And then, yeah, Baron. So imagine for whatever scale account you're at, but this is kind of like you've got your speed aura lead and then your turn meter booster and stuff like that here. You've got your drop defense kind of champion here. Ragash is your support, and then your damage nuker. So we're going to set the AI up so that she will use, again, a turn meter boost first. Who's faster? Lydia's actually going to go first here. But then Lydia's going to open with her drop defense and weaken. Ragash is going to open with that again. And then Baron's going to use his big damage. So we'll see what happens with this kind of setup. We're going to slow it down. We'll do this all ourselves. So in this situation, we've got 2 stone skin here, but they don't have a reviver. I mean, even if they did have a reviver, we've got Lydia here to block the first one. So we've got the drop defense and weaken on those 2. We've got, again, turn meter boost, and then we're going to buffer ourselves up. Does he? So he ignores shield and block damage. Don't think he... No, he doesn't ignore stone skin. Bosh. Those 2 just dead, straight up. We'll speed this up a little bit. Now Death Knight's had a turn, we're going to give Baron an instant turn. Hope the fear doesn't activate. And we're going to... Yeah, so the fear activated, which is a pain in the ass. We're going to see what we can do here. Hopefully Ragash might stun. Yeah, so you got the stun on the Death Knight. Back in with the AoE. Cleansed, which is a pain in the backside. Instant turn. Go back in again with this. Dush. It's quite an annoying setup he's got here with these 2. But if we can take this down, I'll be pretty happy. Will I get there? There we go. Oh, that extra splash damage from that A1 is ridiculous. I reckon that Mortu Macabre's going to have stone skin. Let's have another little look on this one. No, he didn't. Wow. So, drop defense and weaken. Turn meter boost. Yeah, Ragash in there. You know what? Nah, yeah, we'll just go with this again. And then, dush. Then we take down the Cardiel team. Let's have a little cheeky look at that. Again, drop defense, weaken. Turn meter boost. I'm going to try going in with the stun from Ragash. See what... Oof, yes, we've got 3 stuns out there. That's took him down really far here. What I'm going to do here, because if anybody doesn't know, so Baron has this mechanic on his A1 where if he kills the target with the A1, it splash damages everybody else, and it's absolutely disgusting. So watch this. So we're just going to go with the A1 on Cardiel. That's 300k. It's disgusting. So yeah, he's a bit broken and overpowered, Baron, at times. And with him being void as well, you don't have the affinity issues to worry about. So yeah, so it's definitely a good champion to get a hold of, especially early, if you can get him. And you can definitely utilize him in different ways. Like I say, you can build him like I have, where he's a lot of damage. But again, he's not probably going to do a huge amount for you like later on in the game, like for PvP. So he could be more geared towards being a bit of a support / jack of all trades, where you can still build him to do damage, but then have him really tanky and the support type of guy to buff and try and protect your actual damage dealer, whoever that may be. So there's room for him to be in. If someone in an early account pulls him early, he can probably carry you through most PvE content, definitely. And then again, he can be very useful in arena for you, so he's definitely a good pull if you get him. For most people, to be fair, he'll fit in somewhere. Like, he's probably going to fit in my teams for Tag Arena as well. Like, I just chucked him in this team at the minute, but I do need to rework my tag team arena teams in that anyway, because again, I've just let it decay over the last few months, same as arena. So we need to figure that out. And I've been stuck on that stupid mission for reaching Silver 3 in Tag Arena, so maybe he can play some part in that. But yeah, I just wanted to do a bit of a highlight video on him since I pulled him the other day, and there's not really an awful lot going on in the free-to-play at the minute, apart from that I have managed to reach the very end of normal Doom Tower for the first time on the free-to-play account. So we've got the Ice Spider to try and take down in the morning when the keys reset. So I'm probably going to record our attempt at that, and we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, so I'm going to leave that one here for the end of this one. So thanks again for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.